Chapter 2 Minangkabau. The religious beliefs of the Minangkabau are a mixture of paganism, Hinduism, and Mohammedanism. It sometimes is difficult to decide whether a particular belief is of Hindu or Mohammedan origin. The belief in seven heavens unquestionably dates back to Hindu days, for the Hindu had seven heavens and seven hells. The belief in seven heavens likewise is to be found in the Mohammedan religion, for Muhammad climbed to the seventh heaven. The fundamental of the soul concept or animism, however, are native Indonesian. Cosmology, the earth is conceived of as a flat disc resting on the horns of a huge ball. The animal stands on an egg, which is laid on the back of a fish, which slowly swims around on the surface of an immeasurably large sea. Under the sea, there is but empty dark space. When some insect has the impudence to pick out a resting place in an ear of the bull, the animal shakes its head and the earth quakes. High above the mountains and the woods extend the blue sky vault which hides the beauty of the heavens from human eyes. It is built up in seven layers, each more beautiful and costly than the others, until one arrives at the dwelling place of Allah, the High God, the High One. The sun is conceived of as a ball of pure fire drawn to the sky by nymphs. Sun and moon suffer ills, the same as humanity, and when they are sick, they appear in a dark veil, i.e., an eclipse. While Allah, the Creator, is the supreme being, there also are countless other spirits in the universe, but good or bad, both good and bad. The good, the good spirits are called jin Islam, the bad iblis, Satan or hantu spirits, which appear to men, no matter under what form, are called hantu. Soul belief, corresponding to our idea of the soul, Mas states that the Malays of the archipelago in Malacca have two different concepts and three expressions. One, the Nyawa Minangkabau Nyao is the soul in the sense of life, life bigger, life principle. This is the real soul which leaves the body at the time of death. This word and concept is the same as that of Indian proper and has been introduced into Sumatra and Java. The Jiwa Minangkabau Jiwa, from the Sanskrit Jiwa, life principle. 3. The Sumangat Minangkabau Sumangi Batak Sumangot Mentawei Simagiri, from the Sanskrit Sangat, strong and very, which an am in fix. This is the soul in the sense of consciousness, life force or health. It is this soul which lives in dreams and sickness, but which usually returns again to the body. Tone has made a special study of the Minangkabau soul concept. He writes, while the Nyao is regarded as the source of life, the life of the breath, the Sumang is called the life force, the life fire, or consciousness. The Subang is that which causes the impression of fear, respect, and wonder. It furnishes power, splendor, and vivacity. It makes itself apparent in the expression of the face, in the posture and movements of the body. Every healthy man may be called an orang basumange by the Minangkabau, but this is usually said of someone who looks especially strong and healthy, who appears virtuous and alive. If a man looks sickly, or has little or no expression in his face, it is said that his spirit sumang is weak or temporarily has left him. The sumangi, as well as the nyao, is immaterial. Between the two, there exists an inner relationship so far as the material content is concerned. The concept concerning them differs. When the nyao is gone, the body perishes, but this only is weakened by the absence of the sumangi. Only when this permanently leaves the body does all life cease. The Minangkabau himself believes that the sumang is a being which has consciousness, having possesses a will, which has power to think and feel, and which is entirely independent of the body. The sumange leaves the body either in suffering or in great joy. This going away and returning of the sumange occurs both voluntarily and involuntarily. The voluntary leaving occurs in dreams when the sumange lingers in place or by objects which have created a deep impression. In some cases, the dreamer speaks about the things which the sumange encounters on his travels. From this kind of journey, the sumange returns of the free will. It is improper, however, to blacken audity the face of a sleeper, as this causes an aversion in the sumange. The forced leaving of the sumange occurs in fright, anxiety, or sickness. Fright may be occasioned by the sudden meeting of one sumange with another, which it did not expect, and which induces it to leave its body. After this, the sumange returns of its own free will, after the unexpected stranger is gone. The anxious state of the sumange also may be caused through worry when sumange approaches as a misfortune. We observe this in a criminal who is being led to capital punishment, and whose pallid face, a quivering body, so that his sumange is gone. Sickness is caused when the evil spirits torture the abstracted sumange. The suffering of the sumange are felt by the entire body. The sumange in this case returns either voluntarily or is forced back by the doctor dukun. Animals and plants, like human beings, have souls due. The natives claim that when an animal dies or is killed, its soul flies away. But when a plant dies, there is no question of its soul surviving after death. The plants die, they see. An exception to this rule, however, must be made in the case of rice. Among the Minangkabau, as among all the rice-raising people of the archipelago, the soul of the rice plant receives special treatment. Rice mother. The Indonesian rice-growing people not only distinguish another of the rice soul from that of other animal and plant souls, but often give the rice soul the same name as the human soul. The Toraja of Celebes called the rice soul by the same name as the human soul, Tawuna. Among the Bataks, the rice soul is called Tondi, and among the Javanese, Jalai, Makassars, and Bugines, it is called Sumange, Sumangat, or Semangat. It can thus be seen that the rice plant is a thinking and feeling being. Although the rice soul is in every rice plant and in every rice kernel, yet this is especially true for the special plant which is ritually taken out of the rice field. The rice soul is thought to be concentrated in this plant, which is called mother, grandmother, grandfather, or uncle. The other rice plants of the field are called children or nephews. The Indonesians believe that the single rice kernels or plants are persons who possess a power which can readily be lost at a time when the rice is cut, stamped, or cooked. For this reason, a mother plant is chosen, which is distinguished by a rich and powerful forest soul, and which contains the force of the rice field. The rice mother also attacks the soul of the rice, which has been lost to the crop, such as that which has been eaten by bird or mice. One often finds that certain specific rites are performed either before the crop has been taken in or afterwards, which have for their purpose the gathering of the soul of the rice is the field and the bringing of it into the granary. But the general purpose of all the rice rites is to summon the highest good of the rice crop, or the soul, or to lock it in the granary. The rites therefore assure a plentiful crop for the following year. While the Minangkabau in general have lost the elaborate taboo system common to the people of Assam and the pagan Indonesian, they have retained certain taboos, pantagan, in connection with rice growing. The rice mother must not be offended It is forbidden to pull off one's coat in the rice field and cover one's head with it. To draw, what, 2. To draw the body of a woman who has died in childbirth past the growing rice. The stalks would produce no blossoms. A woman at certain periods is not allowed near the growing rice. 4. We uncover head to uncover the upper or lower portion of the body in the rice field. 5. The unhulled rice can be brought into the house. The unhulled rice can be brought into the house only by dragging it. It will be dishonored by being brought in otherwise and would not remain in the cooking utensils. 6. To speak unchastely in the rice field, the rice would become ashamed and lose its other entities. Eschatology. The eschatological ideas of the Minangkabau and the words used to express these ideas are mainly Hindu. Mohammedanism came to the archipelago from India and thus acquired certain Hindu concepts, but many of the beliefs no doubt antecede the conversion of the people to Islam. The belief of the waking of the soul is interesting, as this idea originated in Egypt and came somewhat late to India. Naturally, the concept could spread no further than the use of the scales. On the other hand, the judgment by the bridge of the dead is widespread in Oceania, occurring in prominent form in the eschatological beliefs of Fiji. The Minangkabau believe that while the sumange goes away the moment the body begins to feel sick, the nyao takes its departure after death. The angel Gabriel mounts with it to the heavens and allows it to look down on the spot where it used to live. Then the angel brings the soul back to earth. The dead still have the power of hearing, seeing and feeling. Speech alone is lacking. On the way to the grave, the stranger is set down for a few hours on the plain before the dwelling in order to give the soul a chance to ask forgiveness and all the evil it has done and to take departure from everything it has loved. Further than this, the soul has nothing to do with the body, but goes back to its old dwelling place, where it rests in the garret or on the ridge. The soul of a man visits daily the house of his widow, that of a woman the house of her husband. During the first 100 years after the death, the bed and chair of the deceased are beautifully decorated. Nothing must be done which would annoy the soul, and the dead person is spoken of with the greatest respect. After the end of the 100 days, a dead feast is held, and the soul takes its departure to the land of the dead. It is believed that the souls must run over a firm knife-edged wire, which is extended over hellfire, called by its Sanskrit name Naraka. The evil fall in, the god arrive at their heavenly abode, Shirugo. The good souls go to a place in heaven where there is a big tree, Sarajatul Muntaha. This is the racial tree of mankind, and the souls abide there until the day of resurrection. At this time, the good will inherit the earth, and the evil remain in hell. The duration in hell, however, is not eternal, but the good and bad deeds of the souls are weak to determine the extent of the punishment merited. The good deeds are called pahala from Sanskrit pala, service, food, and the bad deeds dosa from Sanskrit dosa, sin. Certain of the doctors Dukun teach an esoteric doctrine of reincarnation for sin. This they doubtlessly learned from Mohammedanist Hindu sources. The reincarnation of the soul takes place gradually and incompletely for the animal, whether it be tiger, boar or snake, retains certain human body characteristics. This being, which bears the name of Jadi-Jadian, places himself in the neighborhood of the dwelling of his family, which he receives food, although attempts are made to banish him. According to some doctors, the reincarnation from human being to animal and from this animal into another occurs 7 times, and then nothing remains from what formerly was a human being but earth. According to others, The metamorphosis takes place but once, and after the animal is dead and the soul goes to soul land. Doctors. The Minangkabau doctor is called dukun or orang kapiturunan. Turun division to come down. The dukun is either male or female. The woman doctors, however, specialize in childbirth, the incision of girls, and massage. The male dukuns also have their specialists. Certain ones handle only internal sickness, others concern themselves with teeth filling, while still others circumcise or massage. The, insufficient knowledge has been obtained concerning the training of the dukuns. In general, the position goes from father to son or mother to daughter. The parent teaches the child orally, there being no written documents or formula to hand down. The youth learns to gather helps and witnesses to the cooks perform upon the sick. At, at the age of 17 or 18, the young dukun starts practicing for himself. The dukun is greatly respected by the natives, not alone because of his medieval knowledge, but also because of his command of magical formulae, mostly Mohammedan, by means of which he combats the evil spirits. He likewise is summoned to fight witchcraft, and in his capacity of medium, to enter into communication with spirits. In spite of his title of Kapiturunan, the dukun is a seer rather than a true shaman. Spirit possession is simulated beneath a blanket, but the dukun is not capable of keeping a performance in the open, as is his Batak college. It is not known whether or not a neophyte dukun enters a vision case in order to obtain a guardian spirit. Thorne, however, states that Minangkabau natives goes into seclusion for the purpose of coming into contact with the spirits from whom he wishes to learn one or more of the magical arts, as for example to make himself invisible. Usually, he does this on the top on a high mountain or in the thickest part of the woods. Here he remains until his wish is fulfilled, usually not longer than 7 days. Presumably, the prospective dukun undergoes this variety of vision cases. Mas mentions the fact that the dukun is able to see the ghosts of the dead at night. This visionary power is similar to that exercised in Mentawei by the seer. The dukun cooks by bringing back the soul when it has been abstracted by the spirits. When anyone is sick, the dukun is summoned and certain herbs, flowers, and rice are prepared by a woman who is not in her periods. The dukun brings their offerings to a lonely high place and burns them in a dish. By this means, he summons his friendly spirits, jihins. He then inquires their purpose and urges them to aid in recovering the lost sumangi and to bring it back to the dwelling of the patient. The dukun now lies down and is covered with a blanket. About 15 minutes later his limbs begin to tremble, an indication that his soul has left his body and is on the way to the spirit village. Once there he tells the spirits this is not heard by the human audience, the reason for his coming, whereupon the oldest of the women Jihin, Mande Rubia, with some of her male and female followers, go to seek Sumangi. Sometimes, as in the case of serious illness, the evil spirits demand a sacrifice for the return of the soul as an amulet of Kris. This is given to the dukun. If Mande Rubia does not succeed in recovering the soul, the patient is certain to die. If the jinn succeed in returning with the sumangi, the fact is made apparent by the trembling of the limbs of the dukun, who remains unconscious since his own sumangi is still in the village of the jinns. The sound of voices, which are heard from under the blanket, what are said to be the voices of the jinns who have entered the body of the dukun. The jihins command that benzin be born. so that the soul of the sick person can see well enough to mount the ladder in the ghost house and partake of a feast. The soul then is escorted by the jinns back into its proper body. After all this has happened, one usually questions Mandegobia concerning further treatment for the sick person. The advice sometimes is given that the patient should bathe for 12 hours facing one or another of the neighboring mountains. In addition, a sacrificial altar ataran should be constructed with gifts of cooked eggs, rice, siri, and tobacco. The Dukun has still another method of curing. The patient, surrounded by his relatives, is placed in one of curtain. The people are enjoined to maintain a deep silence, and the Dukun steps behind the curtain to confer with the spirits. One hears then the voices of the spirits and the voice of the Dukun is in conference. Finally, the Dukun comes back to the patient, tells him what has happened, and what is required for cure, spits on him, recites a magical formula. In this manner of treatment, there is no suggestion of spirit possession. Mas, from his study of the quantum history of Minangkabau, denies that the people in general have any concept of spirit possession, either shamanistic or as a sickness. Only a few, especially those who have been to Mecca, have learned of the matter from the Arabs. The demons create sickness by tormenting the soul outside the body, not by entering into the person of the sufferer. The Bulgara manga seeing is used by the Minangkabau as a means of magically abducting the soul of a woman. This instrument is swung by a jealous lover who has been repelled in making advances. Some hair of the victim is made use of in the charm, and it is thought that the demons which steal the soul of the owner and reduce her to a state of madness.